Evening, y'all. Chief Prepper here. So, I'm about 80 miles southeast of Kerrville, just south of San Antonio. So, they are in crisis mode right now. Um, there are several kid camps that there's at least 13 dead, many more missing. So, what I was always taught, and what apparently people don't know these days, after earthquakes and flooding, you cannot use natural gas. Do not drink the water because all the wells will have been contaminated. They're on well water right now, but it's like the Hurricane Helen up in the Northeast and in Florida. No food, no water, no electricity, no internet, no communication. So, over and over and over, it's okay, baby. Over and over and over, the disasters present the same problems, okay? So, you need to pay attention to that. You need to have emergency water on hand. I have a bunch on hand from last year or maybe a year ago spring. So I need to rotate through that and buy a bunch more, especially with hurricane season coming. So this problem that we're having right now is the remains of a tropical depression. So, and for people who are not from Texas, if you're looking to buy property, do not buy property with a drainage culvert right next to your house. Maybe not even the neighborhood you're in, or at least not where you have to cross it to get to your house. They have those for a reason. And more than likely, you're going to have flood insurance, and there's a good chance you're going to flood. The second thing is, if you live in Texas, you know this, but many people from out of the state do not know this. People wonder why there's these signs around places with foot markings. All right, those are flood gauges, and if there's a flood gauge with a 10-foot mark on it, there's a good chance there's going to be a flood that'll bury that sign. Do not buy a house anywhere in that area, and do not buy a house where you got to cross something like that. Right? Based on what I'm seeing in Kerrville, you might not want to buy a house that's close to a creek or a river. So I can tell you in Abilene in the early 80s, they had a flood there. It was fucking awful. There was a creek called Elm Creek that was typically dry. It normally would have pools of water here and there, but it was full and it was flowing. Water was 4 feet deep. My dad had to park the car he was in and wade his way home. And then at some point after that, I don't know when, the house we had, that the water came up into our yard, that first flood, there was another flood at some point where the water went up on the walls in the house. So do not buy houses on flat land in Texas if you can avoid it. Buy something on the hill. And there's a reason for that. You can figure it out. What else? So over and over and over, food, water, shelter, security, emergency supplies, right? And probably need to have some off-site, because there are people right now who lost everything. And your off-site location needs to be on a hill, away from flood risk. Information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot. Happy 4th of July, people. Chief Prepper, out.